Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Afzal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the last video, we have seen about the web view concept. Today in this video, we are going to see a very important concept which is called intents. By using intents, you can navigate from one screen to another screen. Intents are basically used to communicate between activity to activity, activity to service, and activity to broadcast receiver. We know that we have learned about the activity only. The two concepts we will see in the next video about services and broadcast receiver. Okay, with respect to activity, there are two types. There are two types of intents. So we'll see what are the two types of intent. So there are two types of intents, right? Implicit intent and explicit intent. Okay, implicit intents are used to call built-in activities. Okay, implicit intents are used to call built-in activities. For example, for example, if you buy a mobile, then you will have some default application like camera, settings. These are all the Android default application which are available for the user. Okay, so by using implicit intents, we are calling the built-in activities. Okay, for example, dial screen if you want to call by using implicit intent you can call settings and camera. These are all the things which you are going to call by using the implicit intent. Okay, we'll see the syntax for the implicit intent. Firstly, we need a intent object. Okay, intent I equal to new intent. You know that by using new keyword we can create the object, right? So here I is the object. I dots, there is a method called set action. By using this set action method, we can navigate to the built-in activities. Okay, this set action method will take one parameter which is the action name. What action you want to perform, you need to mention here. Okay, for example, I need to call a dial screen. Which action you want to perform, you can use here. Okay, and the final one is start activity of intent object. Okay, this is the syntax for implicit intents. The next one is explicit intent. Explicit intents are used to call user defined activities. Okay, explicit intents are used to call user defined activity. Okay, if you need to create one activity so that you can navigate to that activity. Okay, by using explicit intent you can navigate to your own screen. Okay, so we'll see one example. Here my requirement is, if the user click on the dial button, I want to navigate to the built-in activity I want to navigate. Okay, by using implicit intent, we can navigate to the built-in activity, right? So if the user click on the next button, next screen I want to navigate. If the user click on the next button, I want to navigate to our own activity I want to navigate. So we'll design the UI first. Okay, we have two buttons in our application, and the width I'm providing 200 dp and height I'm taking 70 dp. And the text I want to display in the button is dial. Okay, dial text I want to present on the button, right? And we need one ID for the button. so that we can access that button in the Java code. So ID of the button is, I'm taking dial only, okay, and I'm taking gravity tag, and I want this button to be in the center. So my first button is ready now, and just I'm copying it and paste. Okay, this is our second button next, and the ID also I'm taking next here. Okay, so we'll give some margin from the top. 150 I'm taking margin top, 35 dp. So this is our UI. So we'll perform the action on those two buttons. Okay, so inside this main activity we have two buttons to access, right? Those two buttons which we have taken in the XML file, so we need to access those buttons, right? So we are accessing those buttons here. First one is the dial button, and the second button is the next button. So we have accessed those buttons into our Java code. So we'll perform the action on those buttons. First one is the dial button. So dial dot set on click listener is a method which is taking on click class as a parameter. So whenever the user click on the button, this on click method will be called. Okay. So inside this method, we want to navigate to the built-in activity we want to navigate. So we have seen that how we can navigate to the built-in activity. Firstly, we need intent object, intent class object. Okay. So class intent class object dot set action is a method which is taking one parameter. Navigate to the dial screen I want to navigate. So I am selecting the dial option here. I dot set action. By using this method, we can navigate to our built-in activity. We can navigate. So finally, start the activity of intent object. So I have run the application. So now I am clicking on the dial button. So you can see when I have clicked on the dial button, so I have navigate to the dial screen. I have navigate. Okay. So now we'll see the next one. When the user click on the next button, I want to navigate to our own screen. I want to navigate. So here this on click method, when the user click on the next button, this on click method will be called, right? So before that, we don't have our own activity here, right? So we need to create the screen first. Right click on the package, click on new, and then select the activity here, and then select empty activity here, and give a name to the activity. I'm giving next screen. I'm giving. So here next screen is available here, right? So this is our activity, second activity. So inside this second activity, the XML class, I want one text. Whenever user click on the next button, I want to navigate this activity. I want to navigate. So I'm taking the root layout as linear layout. Okay, inside this, I want one text view. Width I'm providing mesh parent and adding wrap content. And the text I want to display here is welcome to next screen activity. this text I want to display on the next screen. Okay, and text size I'm providing here, and the text should be bold. So here in this method we need to create intent class object. I1 dot set component is a method which is taking set component name class as a parameter, and the context we have to provide here, get application context, comma which screen you want to navigate. I want to navigate to the next I want to navigate to the next screen I want to navigate. And finally we have to start the activity of intent object. So we'll run the application. So we have run the application, right? So when I'm clicking on the next button here, as you can see, we have navigate to the next screen we have navigate. Okay, so by using these intents we can navigate to built-in activities, we can navigate, and we can navigate to our own activity, we can navigate.